Hey y'all, I'm Jennifer Holloway and I'm the Director of Communication here at the Loken Group in Houston, Texas. And this is my friend Danielle Weiss, Director of ISAs and overall Lead Cultivation Master. And today we're talking Call In to Win. So I want to start by giving credit where credit is due. Call In to Win is not a TLG original idea. We heard about the success of Call In to Win from the Tony Baroni team in Florida, and I just want to give them props because they were so gracious and gave us advice and materials and helped set us up for success on our first Call In to Win. And we, in true TLG fashion, took their advice and materials and kind of made it our own. So our hope today, we're going to share some tips with you guys, and our hope today is that you can hear this, and if you're thinking about running this event, that our tips can set you up for success. So to start, what even is Call In to Win? So for those of you familiar with the Bold 100 concepts, Call In to Win is a reverse Bold 100, where you are getting people to call you by offering a large prize and incentivizing them to give you referrals. So we have done two Call In to Wins so far, and we have taken 559 calls and 58 referrals from this effort. So I am going to be sharing with you guys my tips from a marketing communication standpoint, and Danielle is going to be sharing from an ISA and calls standpoint. So you're going to kind of get two sides of the running of the event here. And I'm going to let Danielle go first.
So my first pro tip is to make sure that you have a well thought out coverage plan for calls. The point of the Call In to Win is to actually speak to the person calling in. So you don't want them getting a voice recording, or you don't want them leaving a message with their information. So what we did on our team is we broke out the day from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. into 3 different teams, from 8 to noon, noon to 4, and 4 to 8. And we also made sure that each team had backup. So whatever you're predicting for call volume, go ahead and just double it so you can make sure that you have enough people covering calls.
Another thing that we did is we had a different phone line so that you're not tying up your main line if people are calling for business reasons.
Yeah, absolutely. The whole point again is for them to get in contact with somebody live, so we can get their contact information, and we also don't want to take away from actual leads, buyers and sellers that are calling into our main business.
Okay, so my first pro tip is to carefully choose your prize. So we have done, like I said, we've done this event twice. We're still testing and trying things, but so far we've found one single large prize to be most successful. And I definitely think it's important to understand that you reach a point of diminishing returns, where just because you're spending more on your prize doesn't mean you're gonna just keep getting more referrals into infinity. So for us, I think that sweet spot is the $1,000 range. So far the prizes that we have done are a big green egg prize pack, and then we did a Valentine's getaway with a hotel and restaurant gift cards. So what has been most successful for us so far is that big green egg prize pack. So my advice to you, find something in that $1,000 range and vary it up. Try different things to appeal to different people, because we know that not every prize is gonna appeal to everyone. So we try to hit different interests, different types of people on our list. So I would say also test, right? So just because it works for us here in Houston doesn't mean that it necessarily will be popular in your market. You know your market better than we do. Test it out and see what people like the most.
So my second pro tip is to make sure that you're getting accurate and all information when the callers call in. It's incredibly important. That's the purpose of this event, is to make sure the information you're getting is good and accurate and thorough for your data bank, right? To get misleading information or partial information, what good is it really going to do? So what we found really works is that at the beginning of the script, go ahead and set those expectations with the callers, letting them know, great, thank you so much for calling in. What I'm gonna be needing from you is X, Y, and Z. So we took the full name, email address, phone number, the referral's contact information, and we also got the contact's mailing address in case they happen to win the prize. Another tip that I also recommend is that you want to spell back and repeat the contact information. This is your one and only chance to add that accurate and all information to your database. So take the additional time, ask the person calling in, how do you spell that? Repeat it back to them. Just confirm that you're putting in the right information.
I'm gonna add to that too. I was talking to someone actually yesterday. They were asking me some Call In to Win questions, and I gave them this piece of advice, and I feel like it piggybacks well with what you just said. But the last Call In to Win, we had someone call in and try to give a referral, and the only piece of information we got was their mailing address. Yeah. So that's not helpful, right? So I would recommend to whoever's manning the phone to set the expectation with them, like, okay, for it to be a referral, that you have to have,
all the information.
yes. So whatever that is for your team, if that's just phone number or email or either or both, just make sure everyone knows. So we had a couple that either they didn't provide any contact information at all and it was just a name, or they provided just an address. So neither of those are helpful, right?
Yeah. And when you set the expectation up front on the call, it's really nice because then they get to choose if they want to go ahead and enter to win, or if they don't feel comfortable with maybe giving all that information up front. I also believe explaining the why behind it's helpful too. In order for them to receive the prize, we actually need to have a good mailing address for them, a good way to contact them to let them know that they won as well. We also went ahead and just set the expectation of what they can expect moving forward to receive from our team, additional mailers, touches throughout the year. So it was actually a good way to allow a verbal opt-in of email communication and communication from our team moving forward with the lead.
My second tip is to really carefully plan your communication strategy. So I have several kind of sub-tips here. I cheated a little. Okay, so tip one, make sure that your prize is really simple to communicate. The easier it is, the better. When I wrote this, I was thinking of, with the big green egg, you would think that was like pretty self-explanatory, but we had a lot of questions and a lot of confusion about that. So just the simpler your prize can be, the easier I think it's going to be for you to communicate and the more success that you'll see. While we did send out advanced communication about Call In to Win, we feel that people aren't adding this really to their calendar. Like, it maybe is something that you're looking forward to in theory, but your most important communication about this event is going to be day of. So what we do is we send 2 emails and 2 texts, and my goal for that is to just communicate as simply and clearly as possible and make that call to action just super simple. So for instance, we have a landing page that we'll send out in advance of the event to build up excitement, but I don't send people to that landing page on those day of communications because I don't want people to go there and like get lost. I just want them to call, right? So I just send the call to action. The only call to action I send on the day of is just that phone number for them to call and really clear instructions. And then my final tip around this is, if you have a team, this is a great opportunity to help your team members grow their personal sphere and give them an opportunity to talk about their job and real estate to their sphere in a non-threatening way. So we feel so passionately about this that we do an internal contest for call-in to wins, and the team member that has the most sphere call-ins, it gets a $50 Amazon gift card, and that's been really successful and well received here at TLG.
So like Jennifer said, the day of the event, there are specific times of the day where she is sending out reminder text or emails, the call to action for them to call in. Make sure you give the people that are covering a heads up of what time of the day, because you will have a high level of calls during those times. So if the first reminder comes out at 10 o'clock a.m. and the next one's at noon, you want your team to be aware that at 10 and 12 to be expecting high number of calls.
Thanks for hanging with us today, guys. We hope that you found this helpful, and we hope that you can take something that you've learned here back to your business and that it has a positive and lasting impact on you and your team and your market. So thank you.
Bye, guys.